God used one of my children to really help me to be more empathetic and compassionate for people that have been struggling being overweight the majority of their lives. He's 22 years old right now, and he allows me to share this story openly. But at 10 years old, David was diagnosed as pediatric obese. This devastated me. This wasn't a pro football player that I worked out. This is my little boy. This is my flesh and blood. And I can remember walking outside that hospital and sitting down on a bench with David and said, "Son, I need to talk to you." And I said, I need to apologize. I need to ask for forgiveness. And he said, "About what, Dad?" And I said, "David, whatever I did, knowingly or unknowingly, to cause you to be pediatric obese, would you please forgive me?" And a lot of it was overeating because he was trying to get my attention, and something that I had to come to grips with. So in the summer of 1995, I said, "David, I want you to power walk with Mom in the morning for 40 minutes, and I want you to power walk with me at night." He went out that first day and power walked with my wife Becky for 40 minutes. Went out that night with me and power walked to the end of the block and started crying. And he says, "Dad, I can't do this, Daddy. Do I got to do this, Dad? This is too hard for me, Dad." And this is breaking my heart. This is breaking my heart. And I said, "Son, you got to do it. I'll work with you." And he was able to finish that first night for 40 minutes. He went out for the next week. Every morning with my wife Becky and power walk for 40 minutes, and every night with me for the next week. We got the exact same place that a week earlier he cried and says, "Dad, I really believe this has provided the hope that I really needed." He power walked every single morning with my wife and power walked with me every single night. What we did about halfway through the summer, I started phasing out the power walking and started phasing in 5 minutes of jogging, then 10 minutes of jogging, and 15 minutes of jogging. So this little boy that cried the first day at the end of the summer is able to jog for 40 minutes non-stop. Well, when school started, he couldn't power walk in the morning because he had to go to school, but every day and on the weekends, we'd go out and jog every single day for 40 minutes. And never missed a day. It was a non-pizza summer, and we had no pizza at all during the fall. And I said, "David, there's a 10K race. Why don't we join together and see if we can do this race together?" And he said, "Dad, how far is 10K?" I said, 6.2 miles. He said, "Dad, you think I can do it?" And I said, "I know you can do it." That was on a Sunday. The next day we get out there and we jogged for 40 minutes again. Then I found another race 3 months later. It was in San Francisco. It was 8 miles. And I said, "Dave, let's join this race." He says, "Dad, you think I can do it?" I said, "Son, I know you can do it." And this little boy that cried the first day not only finished the entire 8 miles, but he did it in 9 minutes and 15 seconds per mile. That was on a Sunday. On that Monday, we got out there, exact same thing we did the last several months, and he started jogging again. Then we found another race in Phoenix, Arizona. It's going to be at 8 o'clock at night. This will be fun. We flew down to Phoenix, and we got to the start line at 8 o'clock at night, and the gentleman that started the race says it's 8 o'clock at night, and it's 100 degrees. And this little boy that cried the first day finished that 5-mile race in 100 degrees weather on a Sunday. The next day, we jogged again. Well, to make a long story short, this little boy that cried the first day went 15 months, never missed a day for 15 months, 7 days a week, and jogged for 40 minutes every day. And in August of 1996, became the youngest runner out of 5,000 runners to start and finish the San Diego half a marathon at 11 years old. I was speaking at the Nashville Convention Center. I said, "You know what? I think people are looking for a hero. I think people are looking for a champion." I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my hero and my champion, David Nava." And they dropped the lights down. They put these big spotlights in the back of the room. And here comes up the center of the aisle is my son at 15 years old with 2,000 people standing up. And tears are coming down their face. And he runs up on stage and gives his dad a big hug in front of 2,000 people in the standing ovation. And we turned, and I look at the expressions on everybody's face, and I sensed three things. These adults looking at themselves and thinking, you know what? I got to get myself in shape. I got to do something for myself. Or the next impression is, boy, I got a little boy or I got a little girl just like David. I got to help them. And thirdly, and probably most importantly, I can hear them thinking through looking at their eyes and listening to them after, boy, I wish I had that kind of relationship that dad had with that little boy.